як порцеляна, яку легко розбити та неможливо знищити.
The very beginning, we didn't even know how we were going to get the first camera there. We didn't even have time to buy a camera. I packed up my own, and we were very, very fortunate that we discovered there was a network of volunteers in the United States. It was a makeup artist from New Jersey who was stockpiling medical supplies in her apartment. She would get 50 to 60 duffel bags, fill them, and bring them to the airport, drive them from Poland into Ukraine. And she said, "We'll bring the camera to Slava for you." But at this time, we were separated by 6,000 miles. We were separated by time zones, by war zone, by different countries. Everything was against us, and we did not speak the same language. So we could communicate only over Zoom with an interpreter. And what we decided to do was, from the very beginning, Slava and our cinematographer, Andrei is an oil painter. He's never used the camera before, but they are master visual storytellers. And we realized we could create an impromptu film school. And so every day we would go on Zoom, and it wasn't just, okay, we're going to look at focus, we're going to look at this. And the very first question was, how do you turn the camera on?
Під час цієї геноцидної війни нападники за першої нагоди намагаються знищити людей, що роблять внесок у культуру. Серед іншого письменників, музикантів, вчителів, художників. Коли вони стирають цих людей, вони стирають Україну.
I understood it's an amazing opportunity to share our experience as artists and these everyday people who came to army as volunteers to not to defend their property or even their families, because it's so easy just escape, but they felt a kind of responsibility in the face of history, because it's not a battle between populations, battle between democracy and totalitarian. And also all this news footage about the war, it's a little bit senseless, because all war looks same, all destruction looks same, but much more important to show what may be destroyed. And we was focused on beauty. Які чесноти і вади патріотизму, якщо йдеться про готовність захищати стиль свого життя, то патріотизм – це дещо парадоксальне. Якщо ви цінуєте свою волю і готові стати на захист свободи, ви маєте свою свободу для цього частково обмежувати. Back to my childhood, I was happy until I go to school. It was a very Soviet school, and I hate this school from the middle of my heart. And my mom, one day, she told me, okay, if you hate school so much, it's not so good for your future as scientist, but you can go to art college pretty soon and leave this school behind you. I decide, okay, if I will be artist, I will never go to office. And I start my endless education. I spent 4 years and a half in art college and 6 years in art academy and post-graduation working on my PhD after this. It was endless process, more than 13 years. But I never, even 1 hour, I never study sculpture and I never study ceramic. Anya and me, we received many magazines, art magazines, and I saw painted porcelain sculpture, and that night we established our porcelain. I have a dream about this. We are working in porcelain. This material is endless. And probably someone will dig our artworks after few thousands of years.
Фигурки, которые я сделала, никогда не исчезают из моей жизни. Каждое изображение, каждый образ, который я создала, они просто хранятся в моей памяти. В результате, конечно, ни один из них не уходит от меня полностью. В принципе, как и все, что случалось в моей жизни. Я держусь за каждое воспоминание. Даже за самые худшие. Чтобы убедиться, что они никогда не повторятся.
З першого дня вторгнення Харків зазнав ракетних ударів. Потім вдарили бомбардувальники.
I remember I heard like everybody in the West about this on the news, and immediately emailed Slava to see if we could talk, and we got on a call, and I was asking them, are you guys okay? When are you leaving? What's going on? And he told me in this moment, we're okay, we're going to stay. We're going to keep making our art at night. And I couldn't understand why. I said, what are you doing in the day? And he told me, for the very first time, I'm in the Ukrainian Special Forces, and I'm teaching everyday people, peaceful people, to fight. Art is the last thing you think about during war, but that they were going to continue creating. It sparked within me a million questions, and that was the spark, that was the beginning.
Наше довоєнне життя – це наше життя в Криму. Крим – це чарівний півостров на півдні України, у Чорному морі. В нас вкрали це життя, коли Росія анексувала Крим. Через цю окупацію ми втратили зміст свого життя. Наш особистий простір, сад у Криму.
Я прокидалася на світанку, щоб поливати його. Я працювала в ньому вдень, а вночі займалась порцеляною.
Anya and me, we many years lived in Crimea. And after annexion of Crimea, it will be completely clear for us, because this annexion never was punished, war will come to us. And also, one of our friends, he's professor of history of our state university, and his major, his subject is modern Russian war. And these guys knew what kind of war will come, and he established our military preparation. And after start of big war, we knew we of course will be under shelling next night.
Роками я готувався до цієї війни. Я навчався в найкращих стрільців, щоб стати одним з найкращих. Коли я не вчу вчорашніх цивільних, тому чому навчився сам, я виконую інші обов'язки бійця сил спеціальних операцій.
This idea came from Brandon. I never thought about make movie before, and of course, at that time, first weeks of big war, I was completely focused on all around me, security of my family, all missions of my unit.
Когда началась война, не могло быть и речи о том, чтобы Слава покинул город. Слава должен был выполнять свой долг. Я осталась, в частности, потому что, ну как, мне куда-то ехать одной, ну, это как отрезать у себя собственную тень, это что-то такое.
Initially, I wanted to come to support you, to bring a crew, to bring a team, exactly like this, the cameras and microphones and things. But we had sent one camera, and what Slava and Andrei were filming was so intimate, it was so personal, it was so emotional. We thought if you were there with a camera observing in their apartment, it changes the dynamic. And we realized it is the ultimate opportunity, perhaps one that has never arisen before, to have a true verite. They're filming themselves, but as artists, as people that have a perspective. They know, Andrei knows where to put a canvas. And so he would know where to put the camera. And so we decided we'll work in deep collaboration, but at this great distance. And so that distance became our advantage. We would speak every day. Over Zoom, we would discuss shots, we would review dailies, we would mark up little things on the screen. And many times, even before the translator could catch up, Slava was already saying the same thing I was going to suggest, and they were already filming the same idea that we were thinking for the future. And this, we realized that our intuition, our souls were maybe already knew each other very well, even though we had never met. I think the notion of juxtaposition, it implies some artificial combination, but this couldn't be farther from the truth. What happened is Slava and Andrei, one day they would be filming in nature, spectacular beauty. They would focus on light coming through a leaf. And I thought, what is it that would prompt them during shelling when they're in true danger to focus on something like this? They have no concept of cutaway, B-roll, right, or insert shot. Anything they filmed had equal importance. And so nature and beauty were absolutely key. And then the next day, they would be filming destruction, buildings that were lost, and the next, the art-making process, or the next, their mission. And so we were following their lives, which were thrust into this chaos of switching identities. And that was really what created for us the contrast. It was not artificial.
В моих фигурках много природы. Меня всегда интересовала смена времен года, выраженная в цветах листьев.
And so it was something that we realized needed to permeate the entire story because that was the truth of their lives. So it influenced the soundscape, it influenced the edit. We merely were there to observe and to follow, but to use the art of cinema to have a razor focus on what that emotional whiplash was like for them.
It was very special kind of attention because all is fragile during the war, and we filmed everything, every person or every flower, like if it was last day of their existence. And also all this nature, every walk, I thought maybe it's last.
There were times when we would be on Zoom and there would be air raid sirens, there would be shelling, we would lose connection. Even here in Los Angeles, I wouldn't be able to breathe, I wouldn't be able to sleep, we were waiting. And finally I would hear from Slava, it's okay, we're going back out to film more. And, the thing that was so amazing to me is Slava was saying, okay, we're going to this spot that we love, but we encountered a minefield. But it's okay, I'm going to remove it because I know other people want to visit this place. And that sums up the entire attitude. The Ukrainian attitude is so giving, so sacrificial, so communal, and really honoring life. It's about a refusal to live in fear.
Жизненный цикл бабочки. Прилет и отлет птиц осенью. Это все больше вдохновляет, чем город, например, в котором я живу.
Ми звичайні люди у надзвичайній ситуації.
For us, we didn't even have the luxury to do anything at a separate time. We were filming, we were editing every day, we were doing post and animation all at the same time. And from the very beginning, I was talking with Slava and I asked him, is there a music that moves you, something that you could share? Maybe we could experiment with this. And he said, there is something that we love. And Andrei even paints while he's listening to this, Daka Braka, the band. he played this for me, this song that ended up opening the film. It's called Vesna, which means spring. And it was like stepping through a door. I had heard nothing like it before. And I thought, wow, this is amazing, this combination. So I began to cut this footage to the song. And Daka Praka said, we believe in what Slava and Anya are doing. This is our whole library, unreleased music, stems, every multi-tracks, everything. And it became not something that was added to the film, they were conceived as one. So the heartbeat, the rhythm, the structural flow of the scenes is enmeshed with this. You cannot take them apart.
When I picked up my camera, someone picked up a rifle in my place. Now you are in fight instead of me. And she answered, now you have much more impactful and much more powerful weapon than rifle.
Серед іншого письменників, музикантів, вчителів, художників.
Вони мають бути навчені настільки добре, настільки це можливо у цих умовах.
По ней короткую очередь. Туду!
Коли вони стирають цих людей, вони стирають Україну.
I think it's this concept that the opposite of war is not peace, it's creation. That creativity is taking two forms. As Slava was talking about, when you have an aggression against culture, to make something new is an affirmation of, it's a pure act of resistance.
In any situation, resistance is possible. And make art, it's helpful to survive.
To create is a part of living. It's not giving into fear. It's saying that there's a refusal that you're going to just cower and hide or run. And that's amazing to me. It's the exact, the last thing you think somebody will be doing in a war zone is making something beautiful. And I think there's a message of hope within that. I think when you see that democracy and freedom around the world are at risk now more than ever, to see that from within a war zone, even though this story takes place within Ukraine, it's about all of us. It's about what we're capable of in the most dire situation. It brings out the best in people. And I think that's a beautiful message that we must share.
Людей не так, щоб складно не лякати, але важко заборонити їм життя.